loving for him, I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. They go play action with Brissett. He'll dump this off to Cook. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about they move up the block?
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Brissett on first down. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Now Cook. He's got it off the draw. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Another try after the first down sack. Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Out of the gun, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Now the 2nd-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Oh, fighting off the defender. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 41. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he will find his man on the outside. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Yellow. We're scoreless after 1. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Now on 2nd and 13, Mahomes. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Mecole Hardman, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 58 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Get ready. Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yellow. Here's the line. 54 miles. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mahomes. That's caught by Hollister. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They complete it to Hill. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Switch it.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he finds Cook. A 3rd down gain of 19. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now Brissett. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Again, it's Brissett. Setting up the screen for Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
First and 10 at the 28.
1st and 10. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Flush to his right. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Badgley's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. At their own 22-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Yellow. Attack, attack.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we've
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Going right side here, and that's complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? You already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. On the ground, it's Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Jim.
Play fake. Brissett to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
On your team.
Brissett now. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try to put points on the board.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Mahomes now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him.
They got his man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. From just shy of midfield, Mahomes completes it to Hardman. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 49 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cook with a first down and much more. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw is Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. Forced out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Mahomes going to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Mahomes now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Mahomes firing complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. A give to Anderson here out of the gun. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Brissett sets to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Here's Brissett. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now a run with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being...
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 75 yards. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings hands team able to recover, and that should just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds. And then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
Brissett, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Vikings, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season.